He's been missing through injury, and a chance now to get the Blues underway. Good crowd in a Telstra Dome. The opening bounce, McKernan. Neither ruckman can touch it. Chance for Beaumont. Camporelli now. Good tackle coming from Jones. At half forward, a free kick. Yes, there will be. And it'll go Carlton's way. And taken by Beaumont.
Well, you'd expect the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game to be pretty fierce. Both these teams had plenty to play for.
Goes long in towards half forward. Sinclair, spectacular fly. Don't know whether his coach would have been quite as impressed. Lappin had an air swing. Watt squeezing out the hand pass. Good Shepherd laid on for Vola. Stevens, Sinclair, Rawlings and Sinclair again as the Kangaroos build up, and that's a good delivery to Morrell, and young Thornton has been given another stiff task.
Morrell high towards half forward. Coming out, Petrie will drop the mark he should have taken. Free kick meantime, Kangaroos' way. And coming back to David King. As we watch it again, and there's being held by Murphy. So David King, who had a pretty good game against the Dockers last week, 19 possessions, kicked a goal. Of course, two-time All-Australian from 50 metres, thumping kick. The goal umpire doesn't move. The Kangaroos on the board at Telstra Dome. Well, a great start for the Kangaroos, Steve.
It is. Just the start they wanted. David King, we know what a lovely kick he is, but this free kick here, yet another free kick that Carlton have given away in their defensive 50. We see Murphy there just get their hand around David King's shoulder, and we said it early on in our preview that that is something Carlton need to watch.
First blood to King and the Roos. There's plenty of feeling in this. The Kangaroos lead by a goal in the early minutes. Murphy given a defensive job on David King, who has made the first incision. Koutafidis, well tackled. Porter and Jones for the Kangaroos, who are monopolising the footy early. Simpson's had 100 and more possessions already in 4 games this year. Petrie sweeping to Jones, loading from 45. That's a poor kick, disappointing result. And even King couldn't produce one of his legendary soccer kicks at that. But the Kangaroos have it where they want it. Interesting sauce to note, Livingston's down in the front half for Carlton.
Yes, he's played most of his footy down back, but Dennis Pagan tonight, he can play as a forward, and he's opted to go with him up forward.
Brown, well taken by McKay. Good tackle coming from Stevens. It's wrapped up, bounce.
And just getting back to that first goal by David King, it did result from a free kick from Carlton's defence. They have given away a number of free kicks in their defensive 50, and something that Dennis Pagan has no doubt addressed the players throughout the week.
Petrie again, Koutafidis. Oh, he gives it straight up to Harvey, who runs in from 15 metres and kicks another one for the Kangaroos.
Well, 2 mistakes really by the Blues have resulted in 2 early goals to the Kangaroos. We just see Koutafidis on screen. They're under pressure. Well, he's copped that ball up, and who was there? Harvey, a player that you need to be very tight on, and doesn't he read the ball very well, Harvey, and he's kicked his first of the game.
Flying start to the Roos provided by the engine room, and Dennis Pagan with a different view of life right now. Used to enjoy those. The umpires, Darren Morris, Mark McKenzie and Dean Margetts. Porter and McKernan. Hume with the sleeves tonight. Not easy for Carlton to make the takeaway. Last time Koutafidis was held up, this time Beaumont, and that was Jones applying a stiff tackle. And the Kangaroos, as they usually do, have come to play. Umpire Margetts with a perfect bounce. Petrie doing pretty well early. Camporelli has a go. Still no takeaway for Carlton. Now there is. McKernan. Touch ball called, I think. Or is it coming back? It's a Kangaroos free kick. Saw a signal from the umpire.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the Carlton forward half. Someone did give away the free kicks.
Kangaroos loading again. Here's Harvey, who kicked the last goal. That was a hopeful hand pass. Jones and Sinclair. Good smothering by the Blues now, but Houlihan wrapped up. Nowhere to go. It's on the Kangaroos half-forward line. They're pressing again.
And there's the throw against Lappin. And a Carlton.
And that free kick resulted in, I think it was young Harding for the Kangaroos against McKay. A couple of undisciplined acts coming out at the moment.
Loose player on the wing. Taken by Wade. He's got plenty of space and plenty of time. Jarrad Wade. Favola dropping back. He tries to take Archer on and beats him. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Mark required at the back. Almost Whitnell. Well played by the Kangaroo defence. Grant, great handle under pressure to Simpson. And out of Makepeace, and the Kangaroos away.
They are running it well. That's 4. A fine little player. Disposal not so good. Camporelli in the way. Carlton just starting to impose themselves. Lappin, mighty attempt. Very brave attempt. Fierce stuff here. Wade featuring again. Murphy's got it. Dangerous from there. He has just squeezed it home for Carlton's first. So the Blues are on the board. They trail by a goal, but after a slow start, getting into it, high-flying attempt from Lappin was fearless.
It was, and well, Justin Murphy playing in the back line at the moment. Well, he dragged David King up the ground, and he's kicked this from the back line, Murphy, and that was a nice settler for the Blues.
Margin 6 points in favour of the Kangaroos. Much needed goal to the Blues just to get them on the scoreboard. Porter. Chance for Brown crashing up from half-back. Now the Blues in number. Hume got it to Camporelli. He's at half-forward. Great tackle from Makepeace. Spilt now comes to Rawlings. Couple of loose players in the centre. Simpson. Run provided by Jones. Can he use the football this time? Raking kick to the goal square. King is marked. He wanted to play on. He's been called to play on. What can he muster from here? Not much. Ripped out of his arms by Murphy. Spawn. And now Thornton and the Blues out of trouble temporarily.
How lucky. King was stiff, surely. Lappin, if you've taken a mark, golly. Beaumont. Carlton dangerous now. Still 60 out. Can't kick that distance. Whitnell's there. Favola's there. They each had a share. Neither had the Lions' share. And it's a behind. Let's have a look at it. Let's just see what he did. It was like Rayleigh Boyle on the starting blocks in Montreal.
He took a couple of little steps, didn't he? Play goes on. Blues have the numbers on the City half. Forward line for Carlton. Wait. He's got plenty of time. He settles. Lines up from 49. Kicks across the face. Should have done better. They had a couple of players there. Favola was with him. In fact, it's a mark to the Kangaroos. Watt deep in his own defensive zone. 5 points for margin. Kangaroos, great start to the match. Kicked a couple of goals. Perhaps should have had a third just moments ago. Rawlings. And Sinclair used him. Wasn't really ready for it. Grant. Still inside defensive 50. Shannon Grant. 22 possessions last week against the Dockers. Kick towards Simpson. Well, handball, that was more in hope than anything. Camporelli drills the pass in short. Livingston spilled it. Should have taken that. Allows the Kangaroos in. Sinclair hoists it high toward the wing. Simpson in front again. Almost. Couldn't quite control it. Now a chance for the Blues. Thornton. Morrell. Fumble. Now Harding. Now the Kangaroos away.
A lot of errors in there. Simpson again. Huge possession earner for the Kangaroos week in, week out. Nothing on the end of that, but you never know. Harvey, now King again.
Free kick.
A free kick to Harvey. And you can just about write this in your record.
Yes, and we talk about Murphy. Murphy gave away the first free kick of the game to David Kim, who kicked the goal. And once again here, we just see an undisciplined act, really. I mean, he should have done better than that. And it may result in the Kangaroos third goal, but an area where Carlton, we said in the preview that Carlton have given away 22 free kicks in their defensive 50. 12 have resulted in goals, and it looks like 2 early in this game could result in goals.
Total disposals at the moment 35-16 the Kangaroos' way. I know Dennis Pagan plays an economical low disposal game, but Carlton's count well down. Harvey for his second puts the Kangaroos 11 points up.
Well, a pretty good goal by the Kangaroos. There was a big fight on centre wing, wasn't there, Steve? But they just persisted and eventually were able to get it forward into that dangerous position about 20 metres out from goal. And as we look at Adam Simpson, he's the one that delivered it to the hot spot. And again, the free kick, this time against Murphy, as we watch it, just taking Harvey a little high, and a good finish from Brent Harvey.
And Murphy straight off the ground, giving away 2 free kicks, both resulting in goals.
Wiggins on for the Blues. Simpson again, 6 disposals already to Rawlings. King leading Lappin, who has the job now on the ever-dangerous King. Finally, the entire yellow Sherrin crosses the line.
Just a couple of matchups in the Kangaroos forward line. McKay's gone to Harding, Lappin has gone to King, Thornton has got the job on Morrell, and Davies is doing a run with Joel on Harvey.
McKernan and Petrie. Stevens in the midst of it as ever. Petrie. Camporelli now for Carlton. Spawn. And the Blues make the takeaway. This is Davies. Whitnell arrives third in line. Like Livingston earlier. Got his hands onto it. Didn't finish it off. And previously the rebound saw the Kangaroos kick a goal.
Harvey towards half forward. Chance now, Shannon Grant, which way will he go? Decides to handball. Petrie, couple of steps, steadies himself. And misses. Golden opportunity to the Kangaroos. Behind only.
Well, twice now the Blues have dropped marks really around their inside their 50-forward line and been very lucky that they haven't resulted in goals.
Camporelli plays on, delivers to Hume. Loose player on the wing, Houlihan, finger-tipper, he's away. Normally uses the ball very well. Houlihan kicks towards Favola, who's got the sit. Well played by Watt, just shepherded Favola away from the ball, allowing Colbert to take the mark. Baird looking for Morrell. Now Fisher's got a real task here, does very well. Numbers with the Blues. Hume back to Fisher. Kick towards the centre, just had too much carry from McKernan. Wiggins made it look good. Well played by Fisher. He follows up. Now can he use it? Kick inside, attacking 50. Favola! He's got it. Brendan Favola. And hasn't he stamped himself on season 2003?
And we just see there young Fisher, who's just come onto the ground. He's done 2 very good acts. He came on and got the sport, brought the ball to ground, but more importantly, he followed up and was able to get that ball across to Favola, who took a lovely mark.
It's a move Dennis Pagan would have enjoyed. I think Livingston, who made an error that we referred to a few minutes earlier, came off, and you couldn't really have seen him figuring in that midfield exchange as Fisher did.
Brendan Favola has kicked 13 goals in the opening 4 games, 2 goals, 5 last week. Has he got his kicking boots on tonight? Not so far. Disappointing miss. The goals, Steve, that Carlton have to kick if they're going to be successful tonight.
Well, they don't get too many opportunities, and Brendan Favola, when he does kick goals, the Blues generally do win the game. So very important that he does have his kicking boot on.
Yes, he's had 2 accurate days this year, or nights, where he's kicked 9-1, and a couple of bad ones where he's aggregated 4-11. Archer gets his first kick on return, but the result not good, and it's Fisher again.
Great effort by Fisher, going back with the flight of the ball.
Now Koutafidis has space and time, and Hickmott, despite a stumble, has been able to mark it. The distance would test him. Colbert with the job on Whitnell. Watt has Favola. Hickmott, wonderful stalwart for Carlton. And his kicking has improved a lot. He has attributed that to the work Wayne Britton did with him. Big kick this from nearly 55. Has hooked it a little. and has just missed. So the Kangaroos lead by 11 points.
Corey McKernan yet to get a disposal in this match. Makepeace at fullback. Decides to kick long. Colbert has to sit and wait. Couldn't complete the mark. At ground level, it's all Carlton. Well done by Harvey, but he gives it straight up to Hume. 50 from goal. Loose players inside attacking. 50 for the Blues. Favola has got it. Now, Favola is one player that can kick 55 metres, and he'll need to. But he is directly in front. Blues trail by 10 points. And a goal here would be valuable.
We shouldn't have any problems with the distance, Brendan Favola.
And just an example of if you can turn the ball over from the kick in, you've got loose players inside, you're attacking 50. Certainly costly. Brendan Favola from 55. It's a thumping drop punt. It's close. Does he squeeze it through? He has. Goal to Carlton. So Brendan Favola kicks his first, and the margin back to 4 points.
Yeah, they've worked at it, the Blues, and this lad on screen, Brendan Favola, as we said early on, if he's got his kicking boot on, the Blues are generally competitive throughout the game, and this was a lovely kick, and one the Blues really did need. Kicking this ball from outside 50, superb goal.
Carlton within 4 points. Keen contest. No, they're just playing it down. Just another game. Blues in the game now. McKernan getting Wiggins use of it. Hand pass nowhere. So another ball up. Sometimes think, Sauce, with a confidence kicker like Favola, that having a really long shot like that is the best thing for him, because he just really has to concentrate on kicking long distance.
Well, it's his action. He's such a lovely long kick.
Petrie, the rucking and the roving. Here's Harvey. Harvey, dangerous. Good tackle by Wiggins. Jones just getting it off, but to nobody. Lappin and Houlihan able to run onto it. Fisher, a good shepherd. The kick from Houlihan let him down, basically. Ball up.
Well, it was a terrific tackle back there in Carlton's defensive 50. Tim, I think you might have said it was Wiggins, but it was young Davies who's actually doing the go-with roll on Harvey.
It was just enough, wasn't it, just to put them off, and in the end caused the turnover. Houlihan thumps at goalward. Simpson a chance. He's dragged down. Now a chance for Hume. Can he get the clear possession? No. Hickmott and Whitnell fighting hard at ground level. Free kick. Which way will it go? Carlton's way. Hickmott. Well, after a shaky opening in the first 4 or 5 minutes, the Kangaroos started extremely well. Carlton have hit back very hard here. As we watch it again, free kick against Archer for a push in the back. Adrian Hickmott kicked a couple of goals last week against Port Adelaide in Carlton's losing side. And stellar career, 31 years of age now. Game 174.
Davies off, bleeding. Blues also brought off Fisher and Murphy, having served his time as back.
That's an interesting move, Steve, because Fisher really added something in the 4 or 5 minutes he was on the ground.
I'm pretty sure that Dennis Pagan's just letting young Fisher just feel his way a bit. It is a long season, and as you see, he's not a well-built fella at present, but he's a player with plenty of potential.
Well, having said that, he's back on the ground. Hickmott from just 20 metres misses. Well, they've missed 3 opportunities now, Carlton, and trail by 3 points. Reaction from Adrian Hickmott.
A little more polite than Favola's earlier. Makepeace decides City side first and then Dockside. Good option. Stevens. Colbert. Still behind the wing. Makepeace again. Providing great run out of the back half and excellent delivery to Morrell. That was perfect. Too far out. Now there's an indication from the umpire there's been an infringement by a Kangaroos forward, and so the ball will be exchanged. Did you see what happened, Suss?
No, I didn't, but it's about the second or third of the night. Both teams have been involved.
Long into Carlton's half-forward line. Lappin forward of the centre. We haven't seen him there often this year. Baird and Rawlings get the Kangaroos out of trouble. And now they can rebound and try and turn it into something. Archer sitting it up. Neatly done by Harvey against McKay. King, you never know what he'll do. That was perfect. And Harding is only 25 metres out.
And he's having a blinded Harvey at the moment. He's had 7 possession, and he just got McKay underneath the ball. We just see there, just a little nudge underneath the ball. Didn't really worry whether he was going to mark the ball, but just made sure the ball came over the back, and he was able to get on it quickly and get the ball across to young Harding.
McKay was forced to leave his man to go and tackle Harding because Camporelli was falling behind Harvey, so it left his man exposed.
Been kicking straight this year, and this one wavered, but it did enough, and the Kangaroos go further ahead.
Well, great piece of play there by the Kangaroos, and as we mentioned, able to move the ball forward. Archer again figuring, and what a welcome return to the Kangaroos lineup. And Harvey just running hard, Steve, into their forward line, creating the opportunity, drawing the defence.
Yes, very dangerous, the Kangaroos, when they are running the ball out of their half-back line.
So the Kangaroos by 9 points. Carlton been very wasteful in this opening term. McKernan jumps early, takes it, kick towards half-forward, and Joe Waite comes to meet it. Well played, and he will have an opportunity from just outside 50. Elects not to waste any time, thumping kick, but he again is offline. And are behind, another one. 2-5 now, Carlton. Margin is 8 points.
Blues exchange ruckman. French on for McKernan, and Adrian Hickmott suffered a very nasty injury in the equivalent game last year. These teams met on the Anzac Day round last year. Carlton's casualty rate that day was enough to just about finish their season. Kangaroos away, Colbert and Sinclair, all Carlton, and 3 of them collide. Jones, oh, he missed King. Davies patched up like Norman Gunston. McKay, loose. Harvey, dangerous. Great smother. Clever kick, Lappin. Gives Whitnell the run at it. And then Lappin receives. My word, he's a creative player at either end of the ground. And now Hickmott on the wing.
A couple of great pieces of play. The Kangaroos defence there in their forward 50. Some great tackling by King.
Long to half-forward. Kangaroos have the numbers. Kudafiti's read it best. Hume, little kick inside, attacking. 50 for Vola. He's proving a handful. This time against Lee Colbert.
And this is exactly what Favola has to do on Lee Colbert. Lee Colbert not overly quick. Favola a very quick forward. If he does get on his bike and lead, he will cause all sorts of problems for Colbert.
As we watch it again, there was 3 Kangaroos up there against 1 Blue, which left numbers at ground level for the Blues. Brendan Favola has 1-1. Drop putt is close. He squeezed it home. Carlton edge closer. So, great reply and a quick reply, more importantly, Steve, for the Blues.
It was, and that probably resulted in an error by the Kangaroos players. 3 of them went for the mark, and we just see the spillage there. Kudafiti's quickly to get onto it. Quick handball out to Hume, and Favola on his bike leading exactly what he has to do.
Clever little kick from Hume, just hung in the air nicely. Justin Davies showing the scars of battle already. That's not exactly a Norman Gunston. It's bigger than that.
In the shape of a dagger.
These two have been at each other. Right from the word go.
Kangaroos by 2. French and Petrie. Kangaroos winning it away. Brown up in the middle, and Jones just outside 50. Total disposals now 67-46 the Kangaroos' way. Frees dished out quite liberally early. The entries to the 50 interesting. Corey Jones. Miscue. How will it fall? Well done by Thornton, just getting a fist in there on Morrell. And Trudafidi starting to have a bit of it. And that's a clever kick. Beaumont onto his natural side. Favola led under the ball. Kangaroos with the numbers. This is Hale. Fisher, Favola. Very cool. Drew the tackler. Fisher with the non-preferred. And Archer wily enough to make sure it's a minor. The margin now just 1 point.
Corey Jones has miskicked a couple of times in this opening quarter.
Anthony Stevens on the bench. He was being replaced by Daniel Motlop.
Colbert at half-back. Searching kick to the wing. Oh, that was a bad mistake by Clayton. Well, he gets a free kick and a little lucky.
Very lucky.
Just up the head. And was fortunate enough to get a free kick. Wobbles it inside attacking 50. That was a poor kick as well. Thornton comes to meet it. Couldn't control it. Numbers though with the Blues. Free kick meantime to Carlton. They're away. Advantage played. Beaumont. Thumping kick towards half forward. Favola at the back. McKernan crashes the pack. What? Kept his composure. Well played. Sinclair. Non-dominant side. Clayton. Marks. Great chase from Waite. Couldn't quite get there. Another kick. Fortuitously lands with King. And he's paid a free kick. Or mark. Now, David King is a prodigious kicker of the football. And this is not beyond him. He'll need to kick this from about 55. And he's kicked a goal, but also missed a golden opportunity when he marked adjacent to the goal square and was deemed to have played on. And there's the kick. I don't think it was intended for King, but he's got it.
He's a player when kicking for goal, David King generally takes quite a large run-up or long run-up, but can kick the ball well over 50.
Taking plenty of time. David King. Got underneath it a bit, but it's got plenty of carries. Got the accuracy, no. So behind. Margin out to 2 points.
Wonder if he's tempted to try the place kick from out there these days. He has been kicking it so well off the ground.
Super goal, that one. McKernan off the ground has been replaced by McCormick.
Lappin has to go long. Plenty of tall timber. Whitnell has been dropping them thus far. Now Koutafidis.
Clever.
That's very clever. Murphy. Hickmott running for him. Favola starts to move and then sags back. Hickmott keeps coming and now gives Favola the run at it, but he's got lots against him. And Hale, who's playing a tall man back, takes the mark.
Kick out wide. Kangaroos everywhere. Clayton. Motlop or Daniel left it behind. Now he's under some pressure. Confronted by Camporelli. He's in real trouble. And kicks it out in the full. Great pressure.
It was great pressure. You've seen there's been plenty of pressure out there. A number of players even dropping easy marks.
Beaumont. Now they need to get it in quickly to Favola. Hickmott took his time last time they went in, and as a consequence, Hale was able to get back and add numbers. This time he plays on quickly. Favola on the lead. Great mark, chipping in front though by Simpson.
Not long left in the opening term. Blues have not had their noses in front yet, and the Kangaroos intending to keep it that way. Watt and men running for him on the wing. Jones is one of them. It's a lovely probing kick in the Morrell direction. Whitnell applying good physical pressure. So much so that Morrell lost a boot.
Well, Dennis Pagan has opted to shift Lance Whitnell down back. You just see here the mark by Simpson dropping back. He does that so well for all his defenders.
So enough seconds for the Kangaroos to score from there, and maybe even for Carlton too if they achieved a quick transference. Whitnell all over the place at the moment, rucking there. Archer does well. Harvey and Sinclair, who's had a bit of it. Pretty good kick under pressure, but Carlton again. 3 of them were there and none of them marked it. We'll get out of trouble though without too much difficulty. Waite, who's been good. Hand pass a little untidy for Hickmott. All Carlton inside. Hume. McCormick. Davies, a rather Fisher the chance. Not many seconds left. Still a scoring chance. Wiggins. Just had to be pinpoint. And time might beat the Blues, although the crowd reckon they should get it free. They won't. And that's it. That's quarter time. And in a game with plenty of feeling in the lead-up, the first term has not been a letdown by any stretch. The Kangaroos lead by 2 points. Favola a couple of goals for the Blues. At the other end, Harvey a couple for the Kangaroos.
Yes, and I think that both coaches would be relatively happy with the way both their sides have gone. Only a 2-point ball game, but a number of mistakes out there, Chriso. It's been a high-pressure game, but we see Favola on screen there. He's kicked the 2 goals, but the Kangaroos in front, and we should see a pretty fierce second quarter.
Well, it's an extraordinary matchup. Dennis Pagan's departure from Arden Street, about as big as Ron Barassi's from Melbourne to Carlton back in the mid-1960s. There was bound to be plenty of feeling in this game, and the Kangaroos and the Blues haven't let us down.
Tim, it doesn't look like there was any delays in queues getting in here today. The stands are very full and the crowd is extremely loud here tonight, in fact quite deafening at times, and they all had plenty to say to Dennis Pagan as he ran out into the field at quarter time.
Second quarter underway. Kangaroos with their noses in front. Kutafiti's deft little touch to accommodate Murphy. Kangaroos though regain possession. Harvey luckily lands with Rawlings, or did he mean it? Kick towards half forward. Whitnell got a hand. King the snap. Goalwood. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. Offline. In fact, it grazed the post. Lappin was trying to get back desperately.
It was a great kick by King. Really got that awkward bounce. A little bit unlucky.
Deserved a goal. Lappin. McKay. Good delivery, but another bad miss. That was Spawn. Now double team. Ties Simpson up. Did he get into his back? He did. He rode him into the deck.
Michael, the number of drop marks tonight has been unbelievable.
Rawlings now into half forward. Carlton with numbers. Grant, though, who won the Norm Smith medal in the grand final against the Blues in '99. Stevens slipping under the McCormick tackle. He's not going to get the ball out of there, though.
Great play by Stevens. Just focus on the ball. We saw young Waite come in there and just try to take Stevens' body, but Stevens, eye on the ball, and he just kept that in the Kangaroos' half-forward line.
Just sense that Carlton can get the first goal. Just may give them some confidence. Thornton ran into the umpire there. Morrell just hacks it forward. Oh, great tap on from King. Simpson runs from 30 and wobbles it through for a behind. Gee, what an opportunity missed there by Adam Simpson. No pressure. In the end, it was about 25 metres as we look at this collision. And Thornton running right into the back of umpire McKenzie.
Well, he might be asked to apologise perhaps firstly, and he might be asked more than that later on, because he really did run straight into the umpire's exit channel. This is Wiggins. Now Thornton. Carlton mount their first attack of the quarter, but Watt stands tall for the Kangaroos. Well, they're missing at that southern end of the ground. That's the equivalent end of the Ponsford stand end at the MCG. Maybe the jinx has extended. Harvey now in the back half of the ground. A long lead coming from Petrie. Whitnell making the spoil, and Whitnell playing in the back half.
Yeah, playing on Petrie at the moment. Petrie on that occasion ran, that lead would have been 100, 150 metres, so he's certainly going to run Lance Whitnell around.
Where'd he come from in the second row?
Kangaroos with 5 of the top 6 ranked players on the ground thus far.
From the boundary thrown, Carlton take it away. Waite or Token Shepherd. Kutafidis didn't need him. He does now. Handball off to McCormick, who's been impressive this season for the Blues. Chips inside. Hume a chance. Now he needs to use it here. Drills the pass towards Favola. At the back, Hickmott in space. Can he wheel around? He can. And he snaps. And he misses again. Adrian Hickmott kicks his third behind. And he's been a goal kicker this season, but not tonight. 3 behinds, margin back to 3 points in favour of the Kangaroos.
Good crowd in at the Dome. Sinclair. Carlton with numbers there. Hickmott, now McKernan. Hasn't had a lot of it yet. McCormick again. Stevens and Grant. Getting the Kangaroos out of trouble. Daniel Motlop. Good kick, well weighted for the long lead from King. Or rather Harding. McKay for Carlton. And Favola within his range. Thumping kick. The Blues are in front for the first time tonight.
But Brendan Favola, what a great kick from outside 50, and he really just showed his skill there in his finishing ability.
No doubt, but he should go give Andy McKay a pat on his back, but he got the ball away from Harding. He didn't lose his feet, that was the difference, and he was able to follow the ball up, get the ball over to Favola, who didn't let him down.
Third goal to Brendan Favola puts the Blues in front for the first time tonight. They've played pretty well, Carlton, and if not for some inaccurate kicking, they'll be further in front. French, sharp by Stevens, shovels it, almost gave it to Morrell. Camporelli should get a free kick, no. He'll get a ball up, in fact, eventually he does. They'll really go to Hickmott. Hickmott will take it at half-back for the Blues. Gudafiti's getting some touches. Murphy's made position, has to sit and wait, and is paid. The push in the back. Justin Murphy, who made a couple of bad errors in the early part of the match, was taken from the ground.
Well done by Murphy. He needed to be strong there.
Kicks inside. Hickmott playing up the ground. On the lead, McKernan couldn't quite hold on. Or he'd be recipient of a free kick. No. Kangaroos have numbers. Harvey streaks away to Captain Stevens. Just wobbles it towards Petrie. Diving attempt. Couldn't hold on. Whitnell, cool. Clever kick. Thornton. They're playing a right, Carlton. Hands off to McCormick. Loose player at half-forward, Beaumont, who wiped his hands on his jumper before the ball got there. No, look out. He's tackled brilliantly by Rawlings. That could be a mistake. Chance now for Spawn. In fact, it was Waite. Eventually, the Kangaroos through Kyle, but get out of trouble. Simpson. Rawlings. Pressure still there from the Blues. Kick gets to ground, and gee, that was a shocking mistake at half-forward by Simon Beaumont.
It was. He's done that. I reckon that's the second time this year he's been run down like that, but great pressure by the Kangaroos.
The tear-away King. Doesn't he love it? Kangaroos in their 51st time for a while. Harding almost. Oh, McKay.
Well done,
pretty
McKay.
crude fend off. Just about in the chops. Beaumont. I don't think he'll play on this time. I think he doubted his ability from the set shot 50 metres out. Plenty of mistakes. Lappin has the skill and composure. Hume doesn't have the leap to try and battle with Baird. Has to let him take the mark. Now Makepeace hemmed in and can only dab to Harvey between half-back and wing. The Blues by 3 points.
Yeah, Harvey, that's his 13th disposal. Wiggins just needs to tighten up.
Shannon Motlop on the ground. Red boots. We've seen plenty of white. Motlop, thumping kick to half-forward. Oh, Morrell at the back almost. Couldn't hold on. In fact, it was Petrie. Chance for Grant. He's 30 metres from goal. He doesn't miss these. And he has it this time. Kangaroos back in front. So the Kangaroos respond after, well, a couple of opportunities to Carlton, Steve, inside their attacking 50, in particular Beaumont, but the Kangaroos really against the run of play have been able to get their goals. McKernan comes from the ground.
Well, yes, and Shannon Grant, well, what a fantastic play. That's just knowing what's around you. He knew the tackle was coming, was able to break it, and he didn't panic under that situation and was able to slot through the goal.
Kangaroos in front again. And this could be tight for a long way. McKernan off, French back on for the Blues. Grant, pumping ball. Oh, McKay doing well on Harding. Well played, King. Harding, the opportunist, missing everything.
Just a good side for the Kangaroos at the moment. They're on ball as running plays. Harvey's had 13, Sinclair 12, Rawlings 11, Grant 11, Simpson 11. Getting plenty of the ball.
Boundary throw-in, Kangaroos deep into attack. French, assistance from Thornton, who thumps it. Gains about 30 metres. Hickmott confronted by Simpson. Archer. Beaumont sees it to the line. So a very entertaining game of football. Luke Livingston and Ian Prendergast, who was a late replacement for Mick Martin, who would have dearly loved to have been out here tonight playing against his old team. French comes to Brown now, hard up against the line. He runs to full measure, dribbles it. McKay, the only player there. Clean hands. He needed to be clean, and he was. Long to half back. Oh, Archer elite must give away a free kick, surely. It'll come back to Hickmott, who's getting plenty of the football. This will be possession number 11.
Did well,
Hickmott.
Did well, Hickmott. He just had to push back on Glenn Archer here. See that? Just pushed back nice and hard. Took Archer's line.
Goes along, hoping for French, who's hoping he can bring it to the back. Make peace, though. Grant getting a bit of it in this phase of the game. Stolen for the Blues. Houlihan. And gets his own rebound. Cool left footer. And Spawn on the proverbial impossible angle. Has Favola out in front of goal. Decides against that. It's a testing shot. There's been some indifferent decision-making and kicking in front of goal at both ends. But sometimes while all that's going on, somebody bobs up with the impossible one. Trent Spawn. Missed on the near side. And Carlton from plenty of opportunities, a 4-8 and trailed by 2 points.
12 scoring shots to 9 in favour of the Blues. They still trail. Baird. Not much to go to. Koutafidis is made position. Forced to go back to Watt. That's what confronts him. Handball, Stevens. Look out. Favola's got him. Oh, he gave away the free kick. Well, he was a sitting duck, Anthony Stevens. And Favola should have gone lower at his hips. He didn't. Chance now for the Kangaroos to take it away. Grant across his defensive goal face and uses the ball very well. Makepeace. City half-back flank. Troy Makepeace. Taking plenty of time. Drills the pass. Mark taken by Rawlings. Kangaroos. Carlton have done pretty well. They've blocked
Yeah, they got
up
plenty
across the half-forward line for the Kangaroos.
plenty of numbers back. They'll look for a switch here, the Kangaroos.
He does. Back to Watt in the true centre half-back position. Now he plays on. Kick up towards Harding. McKay's been his master tonight. Fisher has it. He's been a live wire. Uses McKay. He's got weight short. Ignores that. Goes longer. Houlihan in the middle. Normally a pretty good user of the football. Looks long. Favola's got the sit. Couldn't hold on at the back ramp. Forces it through. No, he keeps it in. Showed great poise. Makepeace. He's running hard at the moment, Shannon Grant. Gets it back from Makepeace. Kick is poor. Out on the full. Carlton free kick at half forward.
Favola in bother out of that marking contest. He might have jarred his knee perhaps as he crashed the pack from behind. He's not the only one to go down hard. Blues working it. Now Thornton up from the back half. And he gets a result. Prendergast is 40 out.
It was a good decision there by Thornton. He didn't need a blast to the top of the square. The Kangaroos had plenty of numbers back. He just opted to put a short pass into Prendergast, who worked hard to find a bit of space.
Shannon Grant starring for the Kangaroos. He's had 10 possessions in this quarter, which is just 13 minutes old.
To restore the lead for the Blues. Prendergast misses by a wide space. And the margin is 1 point.
The Kangaroos have taken Harding from the ground, and he's been replaced by Daniel Motlop. Andrew McKay's done a terrific job on young Harding.
Makepeace at fullback. Just decides to kick to himself. Now, he hasn't got too much to go to. He's forced to go long. Colbert at the back. Brown just waited and takes a very comfortable chest mark. Lee Brown, of course, made the move from Fremantle and is a likely customer. Taking plenty of time. Carlton have done well. Man up across their half-back line. High kick, Whitnell almost. Ball taken off hands brilliantly by Simpson. Well played. Uses out wide. It's down on the full.
It's great play by Simpson, though. Just reading the ball off the pack, and what a sensational player he is.
And Corey Jones, whose kicking has let him down a couple of times tonight, particularly in the field. He's missed a couple of targets, and that time missed by a long way.
Long ball Lappin. Fell for Harvey, but his hands let him down for once. Houlihan. Neatly done. Prendergast. Good delivery. Murphy. Carlton dangerous here. Sprayed the hand pass a little. Camporelli didn't help himself a lot, and McCormick turns it over. Although Carlton will come out of it with a lucky free.
A little lucky there, the Blues. Wasn't great execution by the Carlton side.
From right in the centre. McKernan's just come back. He goes the other side in the Favola direction. Makepeace able to cut across. Watt. I said Watt. Sinclair back to Watt. Dummied around nobody. Spawn and Hickmott. Strong legs. Kept his footing and got his kick, but well taken by Simpson. He's had it 13 times and no doubt will chalk up his mid-20s and perhaps more as ever. Now Rawlings off half-back but under pressure.
Kicks it quickly towards half-forward. It's all Carlton Lappin. Couldn't quite control it. Koutafidis could. Whitnell. They've got numbers at half-forward. Murphy has it. They should make something of this, Carlton. Chip is poor. Simpson's able to spoil. Makepeace deep in his own defensive zone. Grant knocked up getting possessions in this second term. Hasn't got much to go to. Kick out wide. Stevens made a good lead. At the boundary line too close.
If there's an area I think Carlton have improved this quarter, it is stopping the run that the Kangaroos have got out of their half-back line.
Christie, Brendan Favola still out there, no problem.
Well, he actually looks like he's struggling. The physios have been out to him. They've come off and they've left him out there. But every time he runs, he has to stop and bends over and holds his knee, or before it even looked like he was stretching his hip. So who knows what's wrong with him, but he's definitely struggling.
Lovely cool spin out of trouble by Grant. It's become an old-fashioned battle of the half-back lines.
It has.
That's the fly from Favola, and it was the landing rather than the contact while he was up. So it's on the wing. The Kangaroos are in front by just 2 points. Koutafidis, a little glimpse of the magic. Good shepherd there. Opened it up for Hume. Delivery again poor. Prendergast still a chance. But again, Carlton unable to work it cleanly from player to player. What the clearance. Stevens just wrenching Spawn out of the way. And it might be a high tackle on Sinclair. It is. Kangaroos ball on the wing.
Jared Waite, the offending player. Jess Sinclair. Chips out wide, Rawlings. Kangaroos, they just haven't got much to kick to. Carlton have done a good job in getting numbers back across their half-back line, making it very difficult.
Yeah, this is where they've been breaking down across their half-forward line. There haven't been too many options.
King makes a lead. Now he will want to play on, tries to milk 50 metres. David King, who's played pretty much exclusively up forward this evening. Done some good things, but hasn't had a lot of it. Kick towards half-forward. Stevens has made position, drifting down from half-forward. Now that could be 50. That could be 50 metres. Against Waite, 50 metres, and again another costly mistake by Carlton. And Waite just burying the shoulder into the back of Anthony Stevens. There wasn't any sense in that at all. And a free kick, a free goal almost to the Kangaroos against the run of play. And McKay just getting over. Corey Jones also getting involved. Well, maybe it did make some sense because Stevens is slow to recover.
Well, there's a fine line, isn't there, on how far you actually do go. Coaches will tell you that you make your opposition earn every kick. And on this occasion...
No eyes for the football at all. Stevens kicks a goal for the Kangaroos. You're right, Steve. There is a fine line, but on that occasion, we'll see it again. The weight had no eyes for the football, just buried the shoulder right into the back.
No doubt. It's
just silly free kick.
Correct decision by the umpire, but you love the courage of Anthony Stevens.
He's not the first weight to arrive a little late in a navy blue jumper. Anthony Stevens still paying for it a little, but he won't mind. He got the goal. The Kangaroos are 8 points to the good. McKernan back on ball for Carlton against young Hale. Hickmott. It's not a great kick. Koutafidis and Brown clipping heels, bringing each other to grief. Baird, Rawlings, Sinclair, now Grant. Touch of the hospital ball for Rawlings. Poor kick again. Ball being turned over by both teams. Whitnell to Hume. Just 3 goals kicked in this quarter. McKernan needs to mark it and does. That'll feel good in his hands. He hasn't had a great deal of it. And now Lee Colbert is suffering. Beaumont. Again, it's a high ball hanging in the air for a long time. And defenders love him. Baird. Hale. King. Soccer it. You might kick it from there, just behind the centre. Well done, Whitnell. Carlton can build again.
Loose player in half forward. Houlihan. Houlihan from 50. Drills the pass in towards Spawn. The kick had too much on it. And a boundary throw in. And there's been so many times in their second quarter where they just haven't used the ball effectively inside attacking 50. Here's the mark from McKernan. Strong mark.
Great courage by Colbert, but did injure himself in that contest.
Chance for the Blues. They need a goal. They've done all the attacking at the 4. Sinclair somehow play onto the court. Didn't cover the required distance. And we'll get a bounce. Jess Sinclair's been outstanding. 16 possessions. He had 30 possessions in this corresponding game, round 20 last year, and 3 Brownlow votes.
Blues continuing to have more of it inside their 50. Twice as many in this quarter, but for just 1 goal. And at the other end, the Kangaroos have kicked 2.
McKernan gets it down, Makepeace. Intelligent play, scrambles it to the line.
It's not a great strike rate, is it? 1 goal from 15 entries.
It's not, and it's something the Carlton forwards need to work on. It's okay to get the ball in there, but you've got to fight to hold it up and not allow your opposition to run the ball out of your forward half.
Houlihan having a breather. Livingston back. Prendergast. Now Hickmott. Hume. Perhaps Hickmott should have kicked. Colbert for the ruse. Kicked it any old where, but that wasn't bad. Rawlings. And a free kick to McKernan.
Great tackle by Shannon Motlop before. Magnificent tackle to stop the Carlton, or his Carlton opponent to have a shot at goal.
So the Kangaroos ball. And that's not a bad delivery to Grant, who's had a huge quarter. Support from Stevens. Well rode by Beaumont, but he was on his wrong side and he just can't use it terribly well. Sinclair. Stevens. Another left footer who didn't want to go to the other side. Put Sinclair under the hammer. And the Blues win the ball. Hickmott. That's a beautiful delivery.
Well, that should be 50 metres.
Got to be 50. And Livingston, who's just come back after being taken off early, playing at the unfamiliar end of the ground, can have a shot and should kick it.
And he should kick this. He needs... Well, just watch this on replay. There's the pressure the Carlton players put on their opposition here, and they cock the ball up. Well, we see Colbert there just getting to the back of Livingston. Maybe a little bit unlucky there, Colbert, but Luke Livingston needs to kick this one for his side and his own confidence.
Are you his kicking coach too, Sauce? I'm sure you'll claim him because he kicks the goal.
Well, a much-needed goal to Carlton finally, just getting some reward for the effort they've put in. But great pressure again, Steve, on the wing, where they're able to turn the ball over, and a good delivery from Hickmott, which hasn't been that common this evening for the Blues.
Well, pressure is what creates errors, and Carlton then get their just rewards.
So the margin back to 2 points. Carlton have hung in there. Hale gives away. No, he'll get a free kick. Well, McKernan hands on hip, a little bewildered by that decision.
4-1 to the Kangaroos this quarter, and clearances out of the middle.
Kick towards King. Murphy. Oh, his handballs towards Wiggins, in trouble, but he kept his head. Off to Camporelli. Driving kick towards half forward. Out comes Livingston again. He takes it. No, he doesn't. Archer. Good fight this time from the Carlton forwards, but again the numbers with the Kangaroos. Jones squeezes the kick to Stevens. Archer on the overlap. High towards half forward. McKay in front. Did very well, and a boundary thrown. Geez, been fantastic tonight, McKay.
He has been fantastic, attacking the ball, but also on that occasion, Glenn Archer, his second and third efforts, and his back half was outstanding. You see Andrew McKay on screen having a fantastic game.
Neither side looking likely to really break the other open at the moment. Thornton, plenty of purpose about the fist, not much of a result. Spawn turned it over, got it back.
That's a magician's act.
It has been a quarter of errors. All the Kangaroos, and young Hale takes the mark. Getting close to half-time. The Roos by 2 points. Whitnell chugging after Petrie. Be about the best way of describing it. Colbert wanting a bit of tit for tat there. He gave away the 50 to Livingston a moment ago. Colbert not happy with anything he sees at the moment. Now threads it down the flank. Throw in. Still outside the Roos 50. They lead by 2 points late in the second term.
Beaumont towards the line, and will it beat Motlop? No, well played by Shannon Motlop. He keeps it in. Now a chance for the Kangaroos. Can he use it? He can. Petrie, no, at the stretch, couldn't quite hold on. Whitnell, who's been a steadying influence back there. Good kick towards
fantastic.
Can't take the mark. Little fumble. Allowed Stevens to get back in and tie the football up on centre wing. And in the end, earn the free kick.
Fantastic play by Stevens, running with the flight of the ball. What an inspiration this fella is for his side.
Possession number 14. Chips out wide. Rawlings. Kangaroos looking for a way forward. Colbert, who's come up from half back. Back to Rawlings. Kick towards half forward. Well played by Lappin. Cut the angles. Hume in trouble. Kept his head. Well played. Murphy. Now Lappin. Looking at a very open forward line. In fact, so open there's no one there for Carlton. But he finds somehow Favola in amongst 4 Kangaroos in his attacking 50. And Brendan Favola on the eve of half-time, well, a chance to put the Blues back in front.
Well, terrific play by Matty Lappin there. He got the spoil on, he followed up, but more importantly, his kick was spot on to Brendan Favola, who was on a lead.
3 goals won this evening for the 22-year-old. And what a transformation over Brendan Favola in season 2003. He really looks as though he wants to play football. He's got a lot of talent, there's no question about that. Chance here from 50 metres to put the Blues in front. He's a thumping kick. Comes in, has it got the carry? It has! Carlton back in front. So finally, Carlton get the reward of some great effort, and they're jubilant. They all go to Brendan Favola. And a great performance when at times in that first half they looked as though they might just fall a bit behind the Kangaroos. They kept fighting, and Steve, They lead by 4 points at half-time, but the way they played, they should be perhaps 3 or 4 goals in front.
They should, and I think that goal's pretty important to the outcome of this game. We see Harvey on screen there, believes that he's being tagged at the moment. Davies is going to him, and there's been also Wiggins has had a crack at him, but that goal's so important for the Blues. They've worked so hard to get the ball inside their 50, and Favola's ended up putting the Blues in front going into half-time.
And they head towards the rooms with that perky look of a team that believes it might be on the way to somewhere good. Carlton by 4 points at half-time against the Kangaroos. So it's Carlton by 4 points. Kangaroos going in 3-1. Carlton 1-3. It's a game Carlton can ill afford to lose, and a victory to the Roos would really set them up. And still, despite the fact that they're trailing, the Roos have 5 of the top 6 ranked players, and that makes 9 of the top dozen. Extraordinary.
Plenty of ball usage there, and we see Sinclair there has had a tremendous start to this game with 17 disposals.
And the former great Roo sits on the Carlton bench as the second half gets underway.
Hickmott in the centre square. Third quarter underway. French gets it down. Jones just scrambles a kick out wide. Stevens is first there. He has support out wide. Grant, who was dominant in the second term, kicks inside, attacking 50, almost the mark to Morrell. At ground level, Carlton, a chance. Wiggins, McKay uses Camporelli. Now Thornton needs to find a target. McCormick was pushed in the back, and he will get the free kick. Jonathan McCormick. Very good young player. He's really shone in season 2003 for the Blues. Houlihan couldn't quite hold on. French, Prendergast, kick inside, attacking 50. Where's Favola? Got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Watt under pressure. Makepeace. Law thought about going back inside, decided against it. Stevens. Colbert back to Stevens, sets him a task. He ducked his head, no free kick there. McCormick, handball, didn't have enough on it. He gets a second chance. Scrambles it towards Hickmott. At the back, Makepeace. Just hoists it high, close to the line. Murphy, in any case, free kick to the Blue.
Yes, it was one or the other. The boundary umpire ruled it was out before he marked it. And now the artificial turf is causing problems. Plenty of Kangaroos there. Golly. It's an ugly start to the half. We've had 90 seconds of pretty forgettable football.
You just wondered whether all the Kangaroos players knew that that was going to get to the hot spot, and there's a huge queue of Kangaroos against 1 or 2 Carlton players.
Umpire Margetts indicating his exit path. Porter and French, Stevens under almost every pack at the moment. And another ball up now inside Carlton's 50. Just
one significant move Dean Lady has made. He's put young Hale to centre half forward. Lance Whitnell is now picking him up.
Bounce. French, Porter beats him this time. Murphy, little toe poke, was effective from Makepeace. Camporelli is first there. Boundary line in the end wins out. Brendan Favola kicked the goal right on half-time to give the Blues the lead for the second time only in the match. After they certainly controlled general play in that second term. French, deft knock down to Camporelli, who scrambles it around the corner. Chance for Hickmott, ball close to the line. Colbert, clever. Scrambled the kick in the end. Brown did it well. He came to meet it hard. Now Harvey sets Makepeace away. Whitnell has to commit himself. He does, but Hale got him out of the way. Makepeace now runs towards attacking 50. Will get around Lappin. Oh, this will be a sensational goal if he can kick it. He misses. Gee, what a run from Troy Makepeace.
Well, it was, wasn't it? He had to confront Lance Whitnell, and he didn't shirk the issue. He took the ball straight on and deserved better than that.
Whitnell receives from Murphy. Kick is hugging the boundary line so tightly that he's turned it over. Now Porter, the former Blue, French comes across him, does well, and Favola has an open forward line here. Well done, Watt. Shannon Motlop off to make peace, working his way back to the other half of the ground. And it's a free kick to the Roos. Stevens wants to break. The umpire insists that it comes back. Grant's ball. Carlton by 3 points. Lovely pass. Simpson. And that's a beautiful centering kick. McKay's spoils have been unerring tonight. Rave from Wiggins. Well played by the young blue, but a tremendous smother from Corey Jones, who actually applied the Shepherd a couple of minutes earlier that gave Makepeace free passage. He's doing some one-percenters.
That's a great smother, and Wiggins just before that was very courageous on his attack on the ball.
Boundary throw in. It's been tight and tough in this third term. French decisively. McCormick putting his body in. Prendergast scrambles towards the wing. Chance for Makepeace again. He's recovered from his long run. Grant. Now Sinclair. Good hands inside. Shannon Motlop. Look out. Great tackle coming from Fisher. Oh, he's been called to play on. Motlop now. Kicks to a vacant goal square. Whitnell getting back. He got a touch to it right on the goal line. Well, what did you think of that, Steve?
Well, it was a 50-50, and I think the
umpire tackle again.
Well, he's got his jumper and he's hitting the ball in the air. I'm not too sure whether that is a throw or it is play on.
I'd say fair enough on the basis that he lost control of it rather than actually throwing it. And he was able to get rid of the tackler. Now Carlton, rebound, French to Prendergast. And again, Favola has space in which to work. Oh, nearly. Push. Yes, there's a push. Watt's not happy, but it looked to be there. And Favola, who has the kicking boots on now, can line up for his fifth.
Well, as a defender, I think he can consider himself a little unlucky there, Watt. It happens often in a game. Sometimes they pick it up, sometimes they don't.
Never picked it up when you were playing.
I'd like to argue that point.
Favola might give you time as he goes through the routine. Chance for Carlton to extend the lead here. He's kicked 4-1. And when he's hot, he's normally pretty hot. Kicking from 30. No mistake. Carlton by 8. Favola has 5. And this is a major contribution.
And we just see the free kick once again on screen here. Favola jumps early and,
there's something there, I think. But you're right, Steve, there is some inconsistency, and it was certainly there, but it's not always paid. But Favola has 5 goals. Carlton with their biggest lead of the match, 8 points, and survived an onslaught in the early part of the quarter from the Kangaroos. McCormick has made a difference. Now Murphy, here they go again. Favola wants it kicked long. Kick towards half forward, almost a mark. In fact, it's paid by Fisher. And Steve, we talked during the break about Fisher and his ability to leap, and he's not a short player. He's about 6'2", 6'3" in the old language, and he really jumped there like a Spring Hill Jack.
And I think that's where he's catching a few opposition sides out at the moment. He does play tall, a little bit like, I guess, for Carlton supporters, that Richard Dennis type some years ago, but he was a late pick in the draft, but has impressed early in the season.
He's a real live wire, and Brad Fisher has kicked 4 goals in his debut season from directly in front. That's what confronts him. The kick is perfect. Carlton further in front. So the Blues have kicked the only 2 goals of the third term, and some smiles emerging on my co-commentators, Stephen Silvani and Tim Lane.
I wouldn't say that, but well done. Justin Murphy there got the ball out of the middle and got it long to the hot spot where Fisher was waiting. A lovely strong mark by the youngster.
And a good straight kick. Good finish. Concerns in the Kangaroo box. They had a trip west last week. Were overrun by Fremantle. They might be tiring into the second half of this match. Stevens, captain courageous to try and lift them. And Harvey, and Stevens again. Can he nail it? No, he can't. The margin's still 13.
Terrific play by Stevens, though. The kick wasn't great, but he knew that he had to lift there for his side and got that ball out of the middle, followed the kick up, but unlucky not to score that goal.
Matthew Lappin at fullback. As Fisher comes from the ground limping, replaced by Livingston. Great mark. Carlton away again. It's taken by French. Murphy. Camporelli. Back to Murphy. The Blues playing with renewed confidence. 3 bounces. Now he squares it up late. Runners everywhere. French has made a difference. Just hoists it high towards the goal square. McKernan couldn't take the mark. Free kick. Pulls the corner. Bowlers. Kick 6. Brendan Favola. What a start. I'm not sure that it was he that earned the free kick. I think it was McKernan. As we watch it again, Camporelli just waiting and hanging on, and Murphy being able to use the ball effectively.
And the beauty of Murphy when he got the ball, he actually carried it with some speed, but we just see the free kick there on McKernan. I think it was young Baird, but well, that's Favola's 5th goal, and he is running hot.
That's the bad news for Carlton. The good news is they've kicked 3 goals in this quarter and kicked to a 19-point lead. Brendan Favola has 19 for the year. And this is a reformed character, a transformed character. French doing some good things for Carlton inside. And the Blues escape. No, the umpire initially seemed to call play on, but from off the ball...
It looks like there's a free kick against young Wiggins, who's playing on Harvey.
So Harvey's ball just forward of the centre for the Kangaroos, who sorely need one. They kicked the first couple of goals of the match. It's been 9-4 since. Whitnell's back, an inviting sight for Morrell, but he went early. And it's starting to all come back for Andrew McKay. Now McCormick. And Camporelli. Well-weighted kick. Wiggins. Carlton dangerous again. Dropping in, half distance for him. French, Camporelli. Just couldn't load up there, but he delivers perfectly to McKernan, who has a chance against his former club to really do some damage.
Gee, French is making a difference in the midfield, linking up, and he's doing extremely well.
He is, and you take that passage of play back, you've got to take it back to the Whitnell spoil, and the way McKay cleaned the ball up and provided the drive out of the Carlton half-back line.
He's playing his best game for a long time, Andy McKay. It's been fantastic tonight.
Corey McKernan, who has missed a couple of weeks with another troublesome knee. Kangaroos ringing the changes. Harding and Jones both off. King coming off the bench.
Jones under the blood rule.
As McKernan lines them up. Hasn't had a lot of the footy. But this is a big kick. Carlton lead by 19. They lead by 20. If it had gone through, it would have been a serious miscarriage of justice.
Had a bit of a wobble to it, that kick, Chriso.
A bit.
Christy, you've got news on Brad Fisher.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Brad Fisher for the rest of the game. He came off limping before. The physios have been with him checking his right knee. He seems to be in a bit of pain, and now he's gone to sit at the back of the bench.
Spectacular mark taken by Simpson. Sets Baird away. Now Daniel Motlop. Mr. Mark he should have taken. Well played by Hale. Clayton. Clever little kick around the body. Mark taken by Harvey. And that should be 50 metres. It is. Against Simon Wiggins. The player clearly took the mark. and you can't tackle and bury a player once they've taken the mark.
Spot on there, Chriso, but young Wiggins a little bit frustrated here.
Takes the mark, and Wiggins buries him, and that is 50 metres. So Brent Harvey, who's kicked a couple of goals, will bring the margin back to 14 points. The Kangaroos need one. He pops it through. Margin back to 14 points in favour of the Blues. So a much-needed goal by the Kangaroos. They worked it pretty well, Steve, when they got it forward. Clever little kick from Clayton, was able to find Harvey.
And more importantly, we see the Simpson mark here. That was from the kick out, but we just saw Brent Harvey in screen there. He ran all the way down to inside their forward 50. Terrific running, and he deserves to kick that goal, and came from a lovely mark.
Kangaroos stay in touch. Margin 14 points. Good bounce by Darren Morris. Porter just overshot with the hand pass. Beaumont for Carlton. Camporelli. In fact, it was Prendergast. Good steal. Daniel Motlop to Simpson. And good delivery. Here come the Roos. Jones is 45 out directly in front.
And it's been their two senior players in Simpson and Stevens that have answered the challenge in this last 3 or 4 minutes. Great delivery.
Big kick. Corey Jones, good contributor. It looks as though he copped one in the nose at some stage for his trouble. That's an awful kick. And Whitnell is able to break away like a young colt to Camporelli. Lovely ball to the wing. Favola running under it. Grant. Not good. Thornton. And Carlton with men running inside. Comfortable clearance for Waite.
Waite looks to Prendergast, who's made some space between wing and half forward. McCormick demanded the football, got it, hoisted high towards McKernan. He's got to beat a couple in front. Good, strong mark taken by Archer. It's Archer's mark and/or free kick. And he had to stand his ground there, Glenn Archer. And he did, as we've come to expect. McKernan wasn't given much of a chance there. He had to beat 3.
Just wearing one glove. Might have 2 on next week.
Glenn Archer. Searching kick. Morella, big leap. Couldn't hold on. Petrie. No, Petrie's been paid the mark in front. Just sends the Kangaroos just working their way back into this game. Token effort from Murphy on the mark. Petrie pumps it long. Harvey almost. Carlton or the fourth. Camporelli wasn't quite aware of the forthcoming Kangaroos player. Shannon Motlop, a thumping kick goal. It bounces. Knocked it brilliantly by Harvey to Daniel Motlop. And that is an incredible goal. The kick from Shannon Motlop bounced up on its end, and Harvey, running hard as he's done all night, got there and was able to somehow thread a handball through to Daniel Motlop, who was waiting eagerly on the goal line. And the Kangaroos with the last 2 goals, and the margin all of a sudden back to 8 points.
And resulted in a tackle by a North Melbourne player, the pressure that was put on. But have a look at this. That is smart play. Knew that if he took the possession of the ball that he'd run through the points, but he knocked it back, and the Kangaroos were able to kick a goal.
That was Wayne Harms. Maybe Carlton supporters will go the goal umpire. Kangaroos are right back in this. Just 8 points in it. Important takeaway this. Camporelli parking the body over the ball. You're given a little more licence and freedom in those centre contests, it seems, than in other parts of the ground. Next goal is a big one. Blues looked as though they might have broken the ruse, but not so. Porter and French, arms flying everywhere. Kangaroos ball. Flow of the game with them at the moment. In fact, it's not the ruckman that have provided the free kick. It's Jones, and Shannon Motlop again is dangerous. He is a lovely long left foot kick. Petrie is there. Now, is it a mark or a free? The mark is paid to Daniel Motlop at point-blank range.
Well, Daniel
Reminiscent of the
Motlop.
Cracker Brothers. Reminiscent of the Cracker Brothers.
Well, we just see Daniel Motlop flying with the ball. We see Matty Lappin there. Hasn't played much in defence. Wait for this kick.
Motlop second, and the margin is 2 points.
Well, we just saw that replay. Daniel Motlop taking that mark, but Lappin is playing on Motlop. We just see off the screen here, Matthew Lappin just failed to get some touch, some body on Daniel Motlop, and one, you either have to take his line, or two, you've got to fly with your opponent, and Matthew Lappin failed to do that on that occasion.
2 goals to Motlop in a minute. Kangaroos back. So Daniel Motlop, with some assistance from his brother up the ground, he's kicked a couple of goals. And the Kangaroos fighting their way back. Kicked the last 3 goals, and here they go again. Inside attacking 50. Petrie forced a punch. McKay's been sensational. Knocks it towards Camperelli. Took a while to find the handle, but he had plenty of time. Whitnell thumps it long. Sinclair almost. Well played by Spawn. Gives his forwards a chance. Favola, great fist from Archer. Just in the nick of time. Simpson, who's been fantastic all night. Clayton made a contest. Spawn. Now Hume, slick little handball. Camperelli, McCormick. Camperelli again. Hickmott in the contest. Archer almost. Kangaroos are playing very well in their defensive zone. Favola forces Archer over the line with the football. And a boundary throw-in. Baird and Hickmott getting involved.
We see Archer's effort. The last 3 or 4 contests Archer has been in, he has been absolutely terrific.
Hickmott taking it right up to Glenn Archer. French looking to get it to the back. Baird, Shannon Motlop, who's been prominent in this 3rd quarter. Raking left foot again to his brother Daniel. He's got some talent. Daniel Motlop drills the pass, looking for Morrell. He was held high. Is there a free kick? No, boundary throw-in. Boos from the Kangaroo supporters as Archer and Hickmott continue with it. A couple of tough nuts there.
Yes, reasonably hard men on the football field. Kangaroos looking to wrest the lead from the Blues. They've kicked the last 3. Morrell to ruck here against French. Lappin tied up. Kangaroos hold it in. Carlton breaking away with 3 quick goals in this quarter.
Half-time at Amy Stadium with Port Adelaide 5 points in front.
Roos still dangerous. Brown just couldn't get the hand pass away. So another ball up, still just inside the Kangaroos 50. And Carlton's defence under pressure. The Motlops suddenly playing like latter-day Cracker Brothers. French and Morrell, each getting a share of it. Thornton, sure hands, and kicking to space. Hume leads the race, and the bounce is not too bad for him. Well run down though. Shannon Motlop in the thick of it again.
Well, you've got to admire the pressure that both these teams have put on each other in this game, and we just see Motlop there, the chase and tackle on Darren Hume.
And Hume lucky not to give away a free kick there, because he put Daniel Motlop down on his pants. Murphy was strong with the football, well played, then overruns it. McKay backs him up. Murphy, good sweeping handball to accommodate Wiggins, who uses Camperelli. The Blues away. Camperelli with a couple of bounces. Where will he go? He should kick a goal from here. On its way, he's missed. He needed that, the Blues. After kicking the first 3 goals of this 3rd quarter, the Kangaroos have kicked the last 3. As we look at Scott Camperelli after missing that golden opportunity. Margin 3 points in favour of the Blues.
And a few curses uttered tonight. Been some wasteful football from both teams. Harvey Half distance to Grant. Petrie hasn't been able to mark the football tonight. Has taken scarcely a mark.
We see Mark Porter there. He is the man dropping into the Carlton forward 50. And the free kick downfield against Glenn Archer on Adrian Hickmott. They've been wrestling for about the last 5 or 10 minutes, and this time the umpire has awarded a free kick to Adrian Hickmott.
Well,
how often the guy that the retaliator gets a free kick against them.
And a battle scar on Adrian Hickmott's neck. Take more than that to worry him. And he kicks the steadying goal for the Blues, who lead by 9 points. As that was all happening, Koutafidis was heading to the bench for the Blues, uninjured, just being interchanged. But Glenn Archer will be disappointed with that outcome.
And Chris, I'm just not too sure about these free kicks. I mean, the umpire's just seen what it's gone on. He's seen the shove, the first shove that Hickmott's given to Archer, and yes, he did grab him by the ankle, but there was a fair bit going on before that.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And the two gentlemen concerned just comparing notes. Casual night. Well, the Blues needed that. Just edges them out. 9 points in front now. French, who's done very well. Prendergast thumps it long and wide. Sinclair did very well. Ball about to bounce over his head. He was able to control it and deliver perfectly to Grant. Kangaroos just ahead in the handballs. Kick towards Harvey, did brilliantly. Edge Wiggins underneath the football, uses it. King, who spent some time on the interchange bench, uses Shannon Motlop, who's been devastating in this third quarter. Got a reprieve when Rocker withdrew from the Kangaroo lineup. He is a thumping kick. He'll need to kick at 60 metres. Got too close to the man on the mark. Contest. In from the side, Petrie almost. Blocks it towards King, who's dangerous. Now a chance for Jones. Kick around the body to the goal square is wide. And fisted through by Wiggins. And a behind only to the Kangaroos.
8 points the margin. Tight quarter this. Camporelli having a big term, has had 10 possessions, not counting those kick-ins. McKay to Lappin, now Hume. And the Blues looking to break it open. Favola the target, Hickmott there as well. Archer weighted down. Sinclair, Archer for another go. Well scragged by Favola. Hickmott for another go. Tough footy, Waite. Good umpiring too, as it was allowed to go. McKernan sprays it. And Baird uncontested in the back pocket. Kangaroos turn. Sinclair, big possession earner through the night.
Jess Sinclair picked up 30 possessions in these sides last played. Arguably the best on the ground that day. He's had a pretty good start to season 2003. Big pack of players. McKernan, strong attempt. Couldn't quite hold on. Hit the ground hard too, Corey McKernan. He's okay. Back in the side tonight. Valuable part, of course, best and fairest winner. Now, as we look at a little bit more of Archer and Hickmott, little knock on the side of the head. Ball at half forward for the Blues. Got numbers. Wait, good handball. Hume, can he use it on the lead? Brilliantly kicked to Houlihan. Gee, that was a great pass from Hume. Assessed the situation, and the pass was absolutely perfect. Houlihan didn't have to break stride, and an opportunity put the Blues further in front.
And it was a great kick, but it was a clever little handball by Wade early on in the piece just to get it out to Hume. But the execution of the kick there by Hume,
and
he wooed it home, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He just crouched down, willing and hoping that it was going to hit Houlihan on the chest. He didn't need to worry. And Ryan Houlihan. Chance from about 40 metres. That's what confronts him. Oh, the kick is perfect. Carlton further in front. They lead by 14 points. Ryan Houlihan, a perfect kick, and they had numbers at that around the ball at centre-half forward. You mentioned the handball from Waite, and they're combining pretty well at the moment, Steve.
Yes, and we'll just see here the contest in the air. The ball spills out to Waite. That clever little handball there set up this play, and Ryan Houlihan is able to get on the end of it, and he kicks his first goal of the game.
Carlton extend the lead again. It's out to 14. Porter and French. Hume, who set up that last goal, having a good turn. Favola pushing and shoving at the back and then collecting. Tremendous smother though, I think, from Makepeace, and the Kangaroos are off the hook when it looked perilous. Colbert nicely for Stevens. Here comes McKay. That fist has been like a hammer tonight.
Yes, he's had a superb game, but if we just take the play back to Makepeace, this was critical. Favola had the free shot at goal, or he had Houlihan over the top, and that is a very important smother for the Kangaroos.
Houlihan was just waiting at the top of the goal square. Didn't get to him. Shannon Motlop. Whitnell knocked it the wrong way. Chance now for the Kangaroos. At half-forward, Harding, he's been quiet. McKay's killed him all night, but from 35, he kicks a goal. Margin 8 points. But Lee Harding's been soundly beaten all night, has spent some time on the bench admittedly, but he was able to find some space. Good chain of handballs by the Kangaroos. Simpson involved again as we watch it. Motlop's been outstanding. He got it clear. Whitnell, that was an interesting knock on. Stevens, the captain. Simpson, and eventually he was able to get it to Harding, and the Kangaroos draw to within 8 points. And in this game, well, looks like it's going to go right down to the wire. We're close to three-quarter time. The Blues by 8 points.
Long night in the coaches' boxes. Lee Harding, great conversion rate, 3 kicks, 2 goals. McKay just gets it out of the ruck. McCormick. Murphy now. Well done. Now, can someone snare it out of the air? It'll be a Kangaroo if they do. Houlihan, dangerous. Waite had it spent, and Watt knocked it away. Surrounded though. Hickmott to McCormick. Carlton still with a chance. Favola for number 7. This could be his biggest night since the last millennium.
Ah, what a terrific goal. There are some blokes that can kick a football, and Brendan Favola, well, he's one of them. We saw a terrific effort by Watt, but quick hands. Favola didn't have to think. He couldn't look at the goals, but that's just football now, to know where the goals are. Put the ball onto his boot, and what a fantastic snap.
There's been some excitement everywhere. My left arm's very sore at the moment. What a goal from Brendan Favola. He missed an easy opportunity in the first quarter, but has not missed since. He's kicked 7-1 in an outstanding display of full forward work. Petrie. Hume knocks it forward. Colbert sets Harvey away. Kangaroos need one. Whitnell. Hold on, now a chance for Petrie at the back from 15 metres. Brilliant smother. That's fantastic play from Lappin. The Kangaroos are still alive, but not for long. The Carlton offence, ferocious. And a bounce 20 metres from the Kangaroo goal. Let's have a look at this smother again. Petrie, who had taken the ruck knock, and there's Lappin committing himself. Fantastic piece of play.
Well, often goals are very important, but those type of smothers are just as important.
Kangaroos need one. Close to three-quarter time. Harvey close to the line. Wiggins right on his back and over. In fact, out on the full.
Off Beaumont's boot.
So Harvey a chance. Brent Harvey has kicked 3 and has run hard as he always does. You can see the time there. 42 seconds left in the third term. The Blues lead by 14 points. What can he conjure up here? Brent Harvey, check side kick. Misses. In fact, missed by a long way. Scrapes in for a behind. Margin 13 points.
Beaumont arrived and I think just got his boot in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was actually a bump ball.
Initially,
It was a bump ball. So a bit unlucky there, the Blues.
Yes, the third umpire wouldn't have given it out. Camporelli to Beaumont, who now has his chance from about the same spot. Low percentage kick from Harvey, you'd have to think, from that far out to try and bend it back. It really needed to be absolute precision. Now Whitnell. And somewhere behind the goal post is Wiggins, and Camporelli wiggling his bottom as he does when he really starts to wind up. Spawn, McCormick in the dying seconds, goes for broke. He's wide. And he misses everything. It's the Kangaroos' ball, and that scoreline will be it at the last change. Carlton by 13 points. Tremendous struggle through that quarter, a freer scoring one. Carlton came out with 3 goals. The Roos responded with 3 of their own. In the end, the Blues kicked 6-4, and 13 points is a useful break.
It is a useful break. This game is swinging from toe to toe, and certainly we see that man on screen, Brendan Favola. He's kicked the 7 goals, but what a sensational game it's been. There've been a number of fantastic players out there, but really, I believe it's going to go down to the wire.
So Carlton lead by 13 points at three-quarter time. Glenn Archer and Adrian Hickmott typifying, personifying the spirit in which this game is being fought out. Christie, and we're about to find out. Carlton by 13 points lose this game. The Blues are 1-4, and perhaps already a couple of games out of the 8. And it would set up the Kangaroos beautifully. But Carlton go into this last stanza with their noses in front and perhaps favoured to score their second win of the season.
Margin 13 points. Can the Blues finish off? Good bounce from umpire Mackenzie. Porter just favoured him slightly. Simpson hacks it from the centre. Chase on. Porter made good ground and ended up with the football, has dragged it back in and a bounce. Thought for a moment umpire Mackenzie was going to penalise Porter for dragging it back underneath him. Looking forward to this final quarter. There's been some mistakes, but it's been also very entertaining. Stevens hoisted high. Simpson with commitment, almost couldn't quite hold on. Stevens again following up. The dynamic Harvey chipped short. The kick was poor, intended for Petrie. Gave Whitnell a chance. Wiggins. Bear, the spectacular leap, couldn't hold on. Simpson got it from Porter, just chips out wide. Stevens controls it inside the line, just wobbles it towards full forward with a spiral torpedo. Petrie couldn't hold on. He would have been perhaps better, Steve, to try to find a target rather than just blazing away.
Yeah, he may have, but didn't have much on that occasion. Just looking at 2 of the Kangaroos forwards, Petrie needs to get involved in the play, and the other one's Morrell. Both been very quiet plays for the Kangaroos.
Good option by Murphy. A good play as McKay's done enough to be awarded the mark. Murphy playing on and then with his kicking power able to hit McKay almost out on the wing. So a comfortable clearance for the Blues. Lappin giving him an offer in the middle, and that's where he goes. And he's been a good player down the back again, Lappin. Here's McKernan having to go the spoil in the end. Houlihan, ever dangerous inside the 50, is a lovely kick at goal, and that's a bomber. The Blues by 18 points. Houlihan's second goal, both in the second half, and he really, in the old language of the game, knows where the sticks are.
Well, he does. He's had a fairly quiet game, Houlihan. We just see the contest that McKernan provided there, but this is what he's so good at. He's kicking for goal, and he can kick him from anywhere. And on this occasion, he kicks it on his right foot and doesn't let the Blues down.
Well, he rose to the occasion in Carlton's only win of the season against the Bombers. And he certainly made an early impact in this final term. Lappin creating from half-back. French and Porter. French decisively. Murphy. Ball wide to half-forward. Houlihan leading in the race. Can't control it. Boundary throw in. Ryan Houlihan, just the 9 touches. He's taken the ball inside 55 times. Blues into attack. Grant. Simpson, clever little toe poke. Shannon Motlock on the up to Baird. Was it a throw? It was, umpire Morris said. Carlton free kick.
Lappin, whose game has been transformed under Dennis Pagan, playing most of his football behind the centre, and it's produced new dimensions. Favola arrived but was never going to mark it. Stevens levering it out. Nowhere for Sinclair to go. Well done, Shannon Motlock. Unfortunately, his red boots lost their purchase, but he's producing magic tonight. Now, that was a magic kick. It was 15.01 metres, and it hit the target. Sinclair to nobody. It's Lappin. Got it on a string at the moment, and that is a well-placed kick for McKernan. Edged under it by Colbert. Makepeace can clean up, but hemmed in by Hume.
Just looking at Adam Simpson, he's had 22 touches for the game. Huge job for Prendergast at the moment, who's doing a run with roll on Adam Simpson.
Well, Lappin is a loose player across half-back for the Blues. Comes to Hume, out of the pack somehow, towards Houlihan. He couldn't quite get there. Chance for the Kangaroos. Watt just decides to run it over. So the Carlton break is extended. Now out to 19 points. Kick comes in. Stevens just. He's worked tirelessly tonight, the captain. Great chase from him. Couldn't quite. Stevens was able to arch the back. Kick towards half forward. Baird, who's run from fullback. Johnny Baird from 50. A thumping kick. It's home. So Baird has kicked the goal and has given the Kangaroos, against the run of play, some hope. His first goal of the year, and the margin is cut to 13 points.
And the carrying of the ball by Anthony Stevens there really did give Baird the option, who ran down the ground from full back, and more importantly, kicking this goal for the Kangaroos.
The unlikely source, John Baird, keeps the Kangaroos afloat. Porter the better of that one. Wiggins in the way with a big job on Harvey at the moment. He's a feisty young customer. Here's Kuderman. That is a probing kick. Watt. Hickmott. Spawn. Now McCormick. Favola loose. He's dangerous. Touch that might stay in for McKernan. Bang! He would enjoy that.
Well, Brendan Favola actually, I think, went for goal, and I think he was very happy that it was partly smothered and actually landed. It did. He went for goal. They were a bit lucky in the end, but McKernan, presence of mind to keep his composure and kick the goal. And Brendan Favola, 7 goals won, and perhaps could have had his 8th there. So the Blues, they're pretty happy. 19 points the margin. And at the moment, certainly, they're answering every challenge. French, who's been fantastic, taken this time by Shannon Grant from 55. A low raking drop punt is a goal. Kangaroos not lying down. What a response from Shannon Grant from outside 50. And the margin, just when Carlton get a bit of breathing space, the Kangaroos hit back.
It was a great reply, wasn't it? They get the ball out of the middle here, and more importantly, they had the centre half forward cleared away so Grant could continue to run the ball, and he put this goal through to put the Kangaroos back in the ball game.
It's the Blues by 13 points. Physical exchange in the ruck between Porter and French. Well done, Murphy. Just couldn't quite take the footy with him. Prendergast. And Carlton with a 2-on-1 here. Hickmott and McCormick. Archer into his back. No doubt about that. And it hasn't been the best of nights for Glenn Archer playing his first game of the year. Just hasn't had his normal feel. Who's he barracking for?
I'm not too sure, but you did mention Glenn Archer there, Tim. Always difficult to come back and play at the intensity this game has been played at tonight. Of course, Glenn Archer missing the first 4 games of this season, and he's come up against a player that has been in form in Adrian Hickmott,
who had the wobbles in front of goal early, but kicked one in the third quarter. This to make it really tough for the Roos. From 50, that's a good kick. Again, the Blues extend the lead. They look to have the answers.
Yeah, they do look to as though they do have the answers. A little bit reckless there by Glenn Archer, but the Kangaroos have fought back all night. This game isn't over, but that goal was a very important one for the Blue Boys.
So Carlton back out to a 19-point advantage. French. Topo by Simpson, who's tried so hard all night, Makepeace. Simpson, now Stevens. Good chase from Lappin. He uses Daniel Motlop out wide. Hard up against the line. Tries to get away from Beaumont and can't, and is penalised.
Well, did it smart here. Beaumont just corralled Motlop to the boundary, didn't allow him to balk him, and you just see there, just took too long to get rid of the ball.
Long kick, big pack, Koutafidis and French. French almost. Koutafidis, good little handball. McKay, just off the side. Watt in trouble. Good tackle from Vivola. Handball, hoping. McCormack commits his body, so does Archer. Now a chance for Whitnell. That was a little inside of the boot kick. Lands with Stevens. Stevens kicks to half-forward. McKay in the way. He's been absolutely outstanding tonight, Andrew McKay. The 10 on playing on. Just puts Thornton under the pump a bit. Well, they'll need to be good here, the Blues. McKay goes into assist, but it's all Kangaroos. Grant, handball, Jones, goal. And they're the sort of errors that Carlton, what's cost Carlton so far this season, and for Carlton fans' sake, I hope that's not one that costs them tonight.
Yeah, well, there have been a number of errors tonight, but it gets back down to pressure and being able to make the right selection when you're under pressure. You've got to take your hat off to this Kangaroos team. They just keep fighting back and they keep answering the challenge.
They've had one Saturday night thriller at this venue a couple of weeks ago. This might be another. Still the Kangaroos close enough. They won't go away. Porter and French again. They're going to have bruised bodies tonight. Straight through Murphy's legs. He has another go. Koutafidis outstripped there by Stevens. Harvey and Wiggins have been hard at it against each other. Well done, Wiggins. He stood the test tonight. French, but straight to Rawlings. Plenty of time left. Kangaroos just 13 points down. Makepeace. And he decides to go backwards into the corridor. And Colbert, who has 3-on-2 here, but his 3 aren't very well placed. There's a push and a Carlton free kick. Houlihan.
Quite lucky to get that free kick, Houlihan.
Certainly was. Whitnell's run from half-back. creatively. Lance Whitnell, Favola breaks for him. He decides to have a casual bounce, which threw the lead out. Hoisted high, Hickmott. Makepeace though at the fall. Sinclair. Brown is free. Sinclair runs with the football as McCormick comes from the ground. He's got it to centre wing. Raking kick towards half forward. Fist from McKay again. Daniel Motlop has it, ties it up, and a bounce. Left half forward for the Kangaroos. Daniel Motlop in the screen. 13 points. Umpire McKenzie just indicating his path. Brown and Koutafidis. Brown gets it to Harvey. Makepeace a chance. He runs inside 50. A dumping left foot kick is across the face and 3-4 behind. So it brings the margin back to an even 2 goals in favour of the Blues. Adrian Hickmott on the bench.
Just a couple of changes being made. Hickmott's come up, been replaced by Livingston, and Archer's also come off the ground. He's been replaced by Clayton. A couple of tired boys out there at the moment.
Crowd of just over 38,000. And they are seeing a beauty. Lappin stepped out of the square. We got a view of that. He just went beyond the chalk, as umpire Morris is telling him. I think with his plant foot. It was marginal, but it was there.
It's a no ball.
So, a ball up, and suddenly it's in dispute. And it is right in front of the Kangaroos' goal. Could the game turn on that? Moment seized by Thornton of Carlton. The margin 11 points, but we're in the middle stages of the quarter only, and the Kangaroos are coming hard.
Been the story all night. Neither side are giving up the challenge, and this game's going to go to the wire.
Change of kicker in it.
Camporelli gets to McKay. May prove costly, that mistake. The end analysis, Lappin. Still inside defensive 50. That's what confronts him. Courage shown by Simpson. Now a chance for Makepeace. Loose player inside is Harding. We haven't seen him all night. Harding runs to 40 and drills it. Hits the post. Kangaroos pressing. Lee Harding, just the 4 disposals. He's kicked a couple of goals, not that time. Margin, 10 points.
And just at the moment, it's the Kangaroos winning the hard ball, monopolising the footy, and looking as though they could yet snatch this back after trailing for most of the second half. Camporelli the dab, McKay the shepherd, and then the long clearance. Plenty of Kangaroos there, they all flew. Well done, Porter. Brown, Stevens having a big last quarter to the hot spot. Harding with an open goal in front of him. The Kangaroos are within a kick. Lee Harding's 3rd goal. And the margin is just 4 points.
And if you take it back to the Camporelli kick out, he kicked the ball to a 3-on-1 contest. McKernan was all by himself. Porter fought hard for the ball. The Kangaroos were able to get the ball in long and high. And who was over the back? This man, the opportunist. Harding was able to get away from McKay and kick this goal.
Well, Harding's now kicked 3 goals, just 6 disposals. But he's making his presence felt. And McKay's been his master all night. But he's still managed to etch out 3 goals. Porter, Simpson, Stevens soccering it forward, the Kangaroos. Brown trying to force it forward. Koutafidis couldn't control it. We need to get it out, Thornton. Makepeace. Stevens dives on the football, and eventually you get a ball up. Good umpiring, letting the game go. As we look at that time clock, just over 10 minutes of actual game time remaining. Just 4 points the difference. Carlton got out to a 19-point advantage earlier in this quarter, but the Kangaroos have hit back. Houlihan, Thornton, cool under pressure. High, Spawn and Sinclair. Davies has to beat three of them and does. That was superb. Houlihan just had to go back for it. Uses Hume. Carlton away now. Hume with open territory in front of him from 40 metres. Loads up and he misses. Couple of missed opportunities. Darren Hume would have brought the house down.
Opportunities might be the result at the end. Both sides have missed relatively easy opportunities. Hume on that occasion, the Kangaroos before that on a number of occasions. The terrific play by Davies.
Well, the Roos played a draw here a fortnight ago. Could they do it again? Shannon Motlop, good play, long ball down the middle. Brown, big and strong, well tackled by Lappin. Cooter's hands haven't quite been there tonight. Grant to Jones, the Roos dangerous, an open 50, just too far for Harding. And the ever-reliable Andrew McKay to Murphy. Carlton out of trouble, but becoming an anxious team now. Thornton, well tackled, took his time. Grant wrapped up. There'll be a bounce, just the Kangaroos side of the centre. Carlton 103, the Roos 98. And hard man Hickmott with stiff, sore legs on the bench, and the Blues would like him out there.
And Steve Koutafidis yet to take a mark tonight.
Yes, struggling. Might just be time for Dennis Pagan to move Koutafidis forward. He just looks as though he's struggling with his run, and Brown doing a reasonably good job on him.
Murphy has played very well tonight, Murphy, apart from a couple of early blemishes where he gave a couple of free kicks away inside the Kangaroos attacking 50, which resulted in goals. But since then, he's been fantastic. He's really committed his body. He's run hard, been a valuable contributor. Grant has been sensational. Just stood up in the tackle, handballed inside, attacking 50. Harvey is dynamite. Can't control it this time. Wiggins slicks it out. Grant, he's pushed in the back. Free kick, Shannon Grant. Free kick to Shannon Grant. And a chance to put the Kangaroos in front, which would be the first time since the 24-minute mark of the second quarter as we watch it again.
Smart play here by Grant. He always knew that he was under pressure and he was going to get tackled, and he just buckled. He buckled, he milked the free kick.
It was a bit clumsy though, wasn't it?
He was. Prendergast just needed to have a bit more care.
Shannon Grant coming up for disposal number 30. He's kicked a couple of goals and a chance to put the Roos in front.
We ran a stat pre-match about the number of free kicks Carlton's defence has given away this season inside 50. Might that cost them this game?
From 40 metres, it's across the face and through for a behind. So it didn't cost a goal on that occasion. Margin back to 4 points. Dean Laidley, an anxious looking Dean Laidley.
He's getting used to it. Saturday nights at the Telstra Dome. Just another one-kick result, perhaps. McKay the target, why not? Beaumont thrown over the line by Jones. Just clear of the 50. Carlton under siege. The Kangaroos with so much self-belief. French on the sidelines at the moment after rucking bravely through much of this second half. Whitnell, front position against Porter. Here's the tearaway. King, nabbed and gone. Well, he's a bit stiff.
I reckon he bounced the ball before he grabbed him.
The umpire was directly behind him, and I think the vision may have just been blocked a little in terms of just the timing of the bounce.
He got rid of it straight away, really. He wasn't, and there's a 50 as well, so this becomes a big penalty on the Roos.
It was a great chase by Hume. King looked like he was going to drive that ball to the top of the goal square, but Hume persisted.
I think that the ruling is that if you're caught when you bounce the ball, well, it's considered holding the ball, but you would think common sense would demand that if you get rid of it straight away, if you haven't really been caught in possession, that it's play on. Hume into the 50 for the Blues. Camporelli giving it up to Brown, who gives it up to Houlihan, the assassin, and Carlton have breathing space. Third goal to Ryan Houlihan, and Dennis celebrates. Probably a Diet Coke.
Yeah, that critical goal, this one for the boys. They just looked as though they were getting very tied up in their forward half. Houlihan here kicks his third goal. As we said early on, he hasn't had a great game, but has made the most of his opportunities.
Blues by 10.
So the Blues, 10 points to the good, and there's the free kick against David King, and you're right, Stevie, just managed to put it down, but it doesn't matter. Goal to Carlton. French has been fantastic in the ruck. Prendergast knocks it forward. Koutafidis, now a chance for Murphy. Just scrambles the kick inside, attacking 50 for Vola. Hume out wide. Hickmott gets it from Davies. Snap from 30 metres. He's kicked it. Carlton now lead by 16 points. 24 minutes in final term. And you would think, Stephen Silvani, that the Blues will register their second win of the season.
Well, 2 late goals, and Adrian Hickmott has just come onto the ground. Clever move by Dennis Pagan. He took Livingston off the ground. Hickmott, he got in the right position. Quick handball by Davies. And that is a goal that just might have sealed the game.
2 goals to Adrian Hickmott. In fact, he's kicked 3. So what a contribution he's made this evening.
A couple of ex-Kangaroos with an interest in Carlton. They're looking on. McKernan, Martin. Oh, and there's Pagan. Carlton with a break. Prendergast to Murphy. It's going to be hard for the Roos now. Waite. Hume. Good battler in the second half. Wrapped up here. More than wrapped up. He was sticky taped up and plastered. Grant. Murphy. Davies now. Gaining metres, and everyone counts in a game like this. Colbert. Petrie mown down by little Hume. Legitimately that time. A ball up, and Carlton have it in the half of the ground that they wanted. They lead by 16 points. Just over 6 minutes left.
Going to be a long quarter. We've played 25 minutes, and there's still over 6 minutes of actual game time. Enough time if the Kangaroos are good enough. They need a quick goal. It's an understatement. Murphy's been fantastic to Houlihan. Colbert stood his ground. Now a chance for the Blues. Camberelli, 1 step from 50. Favola couldn't hold on behind. Free kick to Brendan Favola for a push. Now he will be on the impossible angle because it was right beside the behind post. But Brendan Favola, he's kicked 7 goals, 1. And dare I say it, is capable of anything. As we watch it again, gee, there was something over the shoulder, but we've seen worse than that tonight. Not paid. Brendan Favola just taking his time. He's kicked 7 goals. Remarkable performance. What's he going to do? Check side off a step. He brings it back. Oh, don't tell me! He's kicked it. The Blues are home at Telstra Dome.
That will do it. Carlton by 22 points. Brendan Favola 8.
Well, we just see him on screen here. Probably the most difficult kick that you can execute. And he relaxed whilst approaching. And that is a beautiful kick.
He has arrived. Those waiting at the station have had to be patient. Carlton by 22. And the seconds ever way for the Kangaroos. French back after a brief breather. Shannon Motlop, solo effort. Well done to Grant on his preferred side. Has it got the carry? Not quite. as we enter the last 5 minutes. Well played by Brett Thornton. King, ever wily customer, and a pretty wily kick to make peace. Just can't get around Whitnell. Good kick. Morrell hasn't been able to snare one. Harding had it crossed the line. No, it's a goal. Harding gets his fourth, and the Kangaroos just stay afloat.
And I'll tell you, going back to the back pocket, Jared Waite was going at half pace and allowed King to take possession. I think Jared Waite thought it was going over the boundary line, and he didn't go that hard. And that was an opportunity that the Kangaroos were able to seize upon.
Yes, and they keep coming, the Kangaroos. Young Harding there. That was his fourth goal.
How do you measure the winner of that contest?
Oh, well, pretty tough. I guess Harding's done his job by kicking 4 goals, yet McKay has been a solid contributor down back and provided plenty of experience, leadership and drive.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the match, and the Kangaroos got to kick 3 goals. 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. Petrie, chance for Clayton, tried to knock it to accommodate Simpson. Sinclair on top of the football ties it up. And then a quick takeaway and a goal, the Kangaroos.
Lee Harding, in fact, 4 goals, 1 from 6 kicks.
Umpire Morris bounces, big pack of players around the football. Sinclair, tunnel ball. Well, Stevens committed his body and earns a free kick. Gee, that was brave and courageous. David King, kick out wide. Motlop, Daniel Motlop has it. 45 metres from goal, hard up against the line. Played almost 30 minutes. It will be a long quarter. Daniel Motlop has been pretty good tonight. Comes in from right on 50. It's a thumping kick, but he misses to the near side. So any chance the Roos, they need to take those opportunities. Margin 15 points.
Well, they'll have to do something pretty miraculous from here. Tremendous battle this.
You think Camporelli would just find an option here? Doesn't need to go long. A couple of those Carlton players just need to run towards him, so the kick becomes a simple one. But there's not much movement there by the Carlton players.
Not too many matches have been lost from 3 kicks in front beyond the 30-minute mark. But as Michael Christian said, it will be a long quarter. Lappin. Great break.
Free kick. Free kick to the
Illegal Shepherd.
Yes.
Just a little too much zeal from the Blues. Umpire Margetts was onto it. And the Roos are still there. Still chipping. King now. He'll take him on. He loves to take him on. That is a long ball, but it isn't straight enough. And the margin is 14 points.
Houlihan just grabbing on the make piece there.
He just didn't need to do that because Lappin was clear. But it's okay. Beaumont has it. That's what confronts him. Not too much on offer. Just needs to kick it long and close to the boundary line, and there he's signalling. That's the direction he'll go. Long kick in front. This French fist from Petrie. Petrie thumps it back inside, attacking 50. Thornton in the way. I've been impressed with his coolness under pressure. Brett Thornton, kick out wide, Spawn. I think Carlton the home. Kicked into 32 minutes now, final term. Lappin. Couple of casual bounces and a third. Driving kick towards half forward, close to the line. French make sure it's over. So a boundary throwing at half forward for the Blues.
Kangaroos have to conjure 3 goals. And time ebbs away. Brown a hand onto it, but Camporelli steals it. Carlton dangerous. although this one eludes Favola. I half expected the ball to stand on its end, come back into his lap, the waters to part, and the open goal to be in front of him. He's kicked 8. I think his biggest haul in a home and away game. And it might well be the difference. Carlton by 14. That was McCormick. That is aerial ping pong. Davies. Here's Favola. Favola nearly. Watt with a hand pass option. Clayton's away. Can run. One of the survivors of the 99 grand final win against Carlton. Looks as though the result will go the other way tonight. That's a good delivery, and Morrell takes a rare mark. Now Makepeace. Good tackle, but a good shrug, and a very good kick. The Kangaroos haven't gone yet. Makepeace gets his first. Margin 8 points.
Well, we've come to admire the Kangaroos over the last couple of years, but and once again tonight, they've kept coming at the Blues, and terrific running by Clayton, who ran the ball down the ground, but Makepeace there puts through this late goal, and he's played a pretty good game, Chriso.
He certainly has. And a big chance. Well, 34 minutes. You can't think there'd be too much time left. Kangaroos have tried valiantly to come back in this final term, but Carlton have had all the answers. French has worked tirelessly. Ineffective kick, Petrie. Now Prendergast. Outside of the boot to half forward. Watt controls it. McCormick, who's been good. Now Hickmott. Spawn outside of the boot. Favola's got plenty of time and space. He's kicked 8. He runs to 45 and delivers it unselfishly to Davies, who lets it hit the post. And the anguish from Brendan Favola, who had delivered the ball to Davies. He thought he might try and do the unselfish thing, but it cannoned into the bottom of the post.
I think he's saying to him, don't you know a genius when you see one that was meant for you? Seconds surely edging away. Makepeace absolutely surrounded. Kangaroos battle on. Watt, long ball. They've got to do everything right here. McKay, Thornton and McCormick. The Blues load up. They have loose men everywhere. They have it. Dennis Pagan turns the tables on the old shin boners. Dean Laidley tastes defeat for the second time. Carlton by 9 points in a doer battle at Telstra Dome.
Well, I guess Dennis Pagan on screen would be delighted with the performance. I think both teams really put up a fabulous fight today, but if we look at some of the players out on the ground that really did stand out, Michael, I think Brendan Favola's 8 goals tonight, I think he's come of age. Obviously there was a massive question mark. Was it just a bit of a shot in the pants? But once again, he stood up tonight. Brett Thornton, I thought, was terrific also. But some of the Kangaroos senior players in Stevens, Grant and also Simpson were outstanding.